The credit account always goes in the second line of the general journal. And then always in the credit column for the money. So Kim Park Capital was credited $5,000. Does that make sense? Is this a transaction you've used to seeing?
Yeah.
Kim Park invested $5,000 in the company. Cash goes up, debited $5,000. Kim Park Capital goes up, credited $5,000. It's just writing it a different way. So all the transactions you've seen in the last two chapters, you will see again in this chapter. We're just writing it in a different way, different form. Notice, big key here too, is that the credit is indented. I did not do that on purpose. I did that on purpose. It is indented just a tad. Oh boy, it started all over again. Sorry about that. It is indented just a tad as compared to the debit account. The reason why we do that is just to make it look nice with the credit and debit in the dollars. So the debit and credit columns on the right, one of them's to the right, so we just indent the credit so that it matches up with the number. So if you're looking at a general journal, you can tell what the numbers and the accounts are. So indented, just a little bit. Step 4. Source document. That's what you put in that document number. Source document is where did you find out that Kim Park invested $5,000 into the company. And it tells me here that it's a receipt number 1, R1. So you kind of abbreviate that number. We'll get into that in a little bit. So those are the 4 steps to completing a general journal transaction. 4 steps, not that big of a deal. Yes?
Oh, can I turn off the air?
Yes. Questions on the 4 steps? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did not have to go again?
Just go back and go to the next slide.
Great idea. Okay, come on now. That's what it looks like when you get done with the slide. All right. We're going to talk about receiving cash from owner as an investment. Sorry. On August 1st, we received cash from an owner as an investment, $5,000, receipt number 1. That's what we just did. August 1st, date is on there. We do the debit account cash, the debit amount $5,000. The credit account, Kim Park Capital, the credit amount $5,000. Paid cash for supplies. If we paid cash for supplies, $275 with check number 1, we're going to put a new transaction in here. And you'll notice, once you have already put the year and the month in, you do not need to do that for every transaction. You just have to put the day. So I skip August in 2012 and I put the 3. Okay, 4, paid cash for supplies. We should know, or we should have the understanding that when we purchase supplies, supplies goes up. When supplies goes up, that's an asset. When assets go up, they're debited. So we put supplies first, debit $275. Then we know cash is credited because cash is going down. I got 2 people in this whole room smiling. Not sure what's going on. You're just enjoying accounting. That's great. It's great to hear. Okay, cash is going down, which is a credit. So we put that on the second line and indent it ever so much. And then it tells us check number 1. So that's C1 in the document number. Is that difficult? Is that not making sense to people? How this form looks and works, the general journal.
What's the one in between the debit and the document thing?
This one?
Yeah.
Post reference. We will get to that in the next chapter.
What is R1 and C1 written on the receipt, or where is that written?
The R1 and C1, we just take abbreviations from what it tells us in the transaction. So basically, if it's a receipt, it's R. If it's a check, it's C. and then it'll tell us which number, what the number of the document is. Or if it's a memorandum, we'll put M.
So the thing that goes up always has to go first.
Not necessarily. The thing that is debited goes first.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't have it.
Debit can go down on liabilities, on owner's equity, and on sales. Remember our fingers? 3 in the middle, the debit goes down. Good questions. Remember the hand I did? You were talking to those two over there. You guys were like laughing.
We were writing on our hand.
You were laughing about some video.
I know the hand thing, it's assets, then liabilities, then owner's equity, and then revenue and expenses.
Good job.
Well, same as
Oh,
Anna and I weren't.
Gotcha. So we'll review. In what order are transactions recorded in the journal? Are they put in there like by how much money the transaction is? Are they put in there alphabetically?
By the date.
By date. They are put in there chronologically. Chronologically means the first goes first, the second goes second. So sometimes, while we're doing transactions on paper, I don't know how it's going to look on the computer, but people would skip a transaction, like the 5th. So they'd have 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, and they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do the 5th. Is it okay if I just put it at the bottom here? Most of the time I'd say yes, because it's an honest mistake, but in the real world, you have to have them in chronological order. What are some source documents? Or why are source documents important? Why do you think knowing or having the receipt or the memo or the invoice are important?
Because you need it.
How about if I'm the IRS or the government and I come into your business and I'm like, hey, where'd you get this $500 from?
Like proof.
And then if they go, oh, we sold some shoes. We sold shoes for $500. Oh, really? How do I know that wasn't illegal merchandise that you sold? Because I just told you we sold shoes. They don't take your word. You need a piece of paper that says, look it, on September 21st, yada yada came in, bought $500 worth of shoes, here's the receipt. Boom. Thank you very much. So it gives evidence that the transaction happened. Evidence is very important. Can you list the 4 parts of a journal entry? The order, the 4 things, 4 steps?
Date.
What's the first one?
Date.
Date. What's the second one?
The title. Account title. No.
Debit.
Debit.
The debit account and the debit amount.
And then credit.
And credit.
Then the credit account and the credit amount. And last,
Source.
source document. It's on the board right there. I think that's what they were looking at.
Look at us if we put it in wrong on the computer.
Like the order?
Yeah.
Yes, if you put in, like if we have this transaction, and you put in Kim Park Capital first, that is wrong.
Like
No, but like if we put
if
it
we
in.
type it
like-
in like on the right line but first.
Like if we don't use the order.
So like if you put Kim Park Capital
Right there.
right here,
No.
right here.
Yeah. But we do it first.
Oh, no, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, like if, sometimes what I'll do is with transactions, I know the cash for sure, so it said paid cash. I know cash is going down. Sometimes I just throw the cash in the credit first, and then I'll figure out what we're buying, like supplies or whatever. Like this one. If I know cash for sure is credited, I'll put the cash in first, and then put the supplies in second. But I'll put the cash on the second line, not the first line. Very good. How about we take a look at problem 3-1. 3-1 work together is where you should be heading. This is the part when I can't stand Ariana Grande either. I don't know why I keep singing it.
Ow, that was my hand.
We have
You said, hey, that's your
Yeah,
Pretty sure
turn
it's
it
gonna
on.
We're forced to.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the same thing over and over. It's just
It gets old.
yeah, it's just different team over again. Yeah.
Second chance over and over.
Alright, so 3-1, you can either look at the instructions on the screen, or you can go to your book.
Oh my
There's no point in the front, like I guarantee we're gonna lose. It's been
At least be good.
years to, not last year. So
So what?
that's what I heard. I don't believe it's just
If I look at the scales view, what it looks like.
and everything rise up against it.
If you're looking in the book, the problem is on. Actually, what I need to do is go back. 3-1 is going to be on page.
Holy
Oh,
crap.
there's
62.
Look at that.
Can somebody look at that camera and make sure this looks decent? Does it look decent?
Is it good?
Yeah.
You can't even see it.
I can't. I know. That's why I asked them. Yeah.
It's not like
Okay.
you can
Don't make
it
me
was
stop you.
decent.
Okay, so the first transaction says, received cash from owner as an investment on April 1st. So we gotta get April 1st in here somehow. I don't know how they want us to type it in.
Abbreviated.
Oh, there we go, April 1st. Okay, APR 1. We received cash. So that means cash is our debit account, so that's gonna go first. We didn't put the debit amount in there, which is 3,000. Our third step is the credit. The credit account is going to be Norm Derner. Norm Derner Capital. And he is credited $3,000.
I thought it's only $1,500.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1,500. I'm looking at the wrong problem.
I was gonna say, what do you doesn't sound right.
Right.
Oh, it's.
You try and
It's not
destroy
Norm
it.
Denver Capital either.
It is Norm
Yeah,
Derner.
it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Gosh, do yourself.
Now notice, it should, if I can have your attention here, if I can have your attention here, it should indent for you. Notice my Norm Derner moved over a little bit. It indented once I put the number in the credit. Any questions on that first transaction? A lot of people say they like this better than the T accounts.
I think it
Agree right now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier.
Okay, April 2nd, paid cash for supplies. Supplies is gonna go up. So that's gonna be a debit. Oh, I forgot to do step 4, nobody called me out on it.
we forgot to do
What was step 4?
Step 4 is document number R1.
We, James, it's called it. I can't do it. And it's pretty good.
We paid cash for the supplies, $375. Our document number is C1. Check answer. We're golden. So now you get to do on your own.
Like the same exact.
By yourself. It's the exact same thing you just did.
Except different problems.
So for those of you watching the video, we're going to pause, give you a chance to do the on your own. We'll be back.